For today's collie practice, I have decided to go to the park and practice some footwork and then I'm going to play. So, here you go. To begin my training at the park, I started first with some leg stretching. Now you're going to see me in just a moment pop into that bottom left side of the screen. Right there I am. And I'm just stretching my thighs. My thighs tend to get really tight. I do pretty good with keeping my calves stretched out, but my thighs tend to get really tight. And of course, since I haven't done any warming up yet this morning, I wanted to make sure that I focused on some good warm-ups to make sure that I was ready to perform. Now, I honestly should have done more warming up prior to starting up the hill, but, you know, that's okay for today. That's not what happened. So you can't really see in the video very well, but I am running up a hill that's, you know, pretty steep, and I haven't done this in a while, so I don't get very many reps in. But what I did do was when I got to the top of the hill, there's a little pavilion. And at the pavilion, I stopped for about a minute, maybe a little bit longer, and stretched out each of my thighs for 30 to 60 seconds. This helped me be able to continue warming up and stretching out those muscles as I was using them. When I come back down the hill, I'm focusing on control. Control in movement, control in my steps. And when I go up the hill, I'm focusing on really trying to pump my legs and really get momentum to keep me moving up the hill without stopping if all possible. Now, I made it up the hill all of the times except once with stopping. Here's something that I noticed. So you're seeing me coming back down the hill. I'm gonna make a loop and I'm gonna run right back up the hill. Again, when I get to the top of the hill, I stop at that pavilion for just a short while, stretch out both of the thighs. What I noticed was that the next round that I go up, I'm actually using a launching footwork. Now, I'm not super technical with this, but it's a kind of footwork that helps propel and push you forward. This is what I noticed. When I was using that launching footwork, it was easier for me to get up the hill than it was simply for me to run. How that ties into what I wanted to share with you is when you learn certain techniques, it makes difficult tasks easier. It makes it easier for them to do because you're doing them smarter, not harder. You know that old saying, work smarter, not harder. That's exactly what this particular footwork helped me to be able to do moving up the mountain. I was kind of surprised, but I really appreciated the application and that I chose to try to run up the hill first, and then to help keep me going, I really wanted to try that launching footwork to get up the hill. I'm really glad that I tried it and that I was able to see almost immediately results and benefits from using proper footwork. So just something to keep in mind. Here I'm coming back down the hill one more time. When I go back up the hill, I will be using that launching footwork. I'm actually going to also pass the screen. This is what I'm doing right now, is that launching footwork. It looks kind of funny, and I'm looking down at my feet because I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing the footwork right so that I can visualize it. But I really have appreciated this experience today on the mountain. Now, I'll mention this in just a moment in the next section of this recording, but the grass was really wet. So it was probably watered during the night sometime or early morning. And it was really wet. I kept sliding and I didn't really feel like it was safe for me to do. So I actually ended up leaving the park to continue my practice. Enjoy the rest of this section and the beautiful mountains and green grass. So I went to the park and the grass was really wet and I was sliding. So I decided to come to a local high school not too far away from where I live. And I'm gonna do one of my favorite leg exercises, running the bleachers. And so I haven't done this in a while, so we'll see how it goes. Running up the hill of the park was definitely a challenge. So I'm excited to face this one. Here we go. Running the bleachers is something that I have had a lot of experience in, especially in hot weather. So if you're new to running the bleachers or you want to try this activity, I highly recommend that you start by working up to running the bleachers. Start by walking the track first, really make sure that you're warmed up, and then start running the bleachers by walking first. I cannot stress this enough. Walk the bleachers and make sure that you know your footing. Make sure that you know how your body lands each step. This can be a very dangerous activity if you're not familiar with it. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I used to do this for about 2 to 3 hours. I would alternate running the track, and each time I got to the bleachers, I would run the bleachers, come back down, and then run the track until I got to the next set of bleachers. I also did this under the supervision of a fitness trainer at the time. He was my fitness trainer, but he was also my son's football coach. And so he was also monitoring my activity while I was running the bleachers when I very first started. I built up to be able to jump 2 steps at a time, up and down. So please make sure that if you're doing this activity, no matter what you see, no matter how easy or hard I make it look, that you make sure that you are taking your safety into consideration and prioritizing that first. I love this activity. Like I said, it's something that I'm very comfortable with. It's just a matter of building that leg strength up again. So again, let me just stress this again. Please use caution if you choose to try out this. If you do, it's a blast. Personally, I love it, and it really helps strengthen your cardio and your legs. So that actually went better than I thought. I was actually able to do more repetitions than I thought I was going to be able to do. But this is an activity I used to do for 2-3 hours at a time. And I love it so much. You know, I'm getting older. I just turned 47 this year. Actually, I'm sorry, 46 this year, right before ITC, the intensive training camp with the Collie Center. And I have worked an office job for the last 8.5 years. In March 2025, I transitioned from an office job to working remotely as a 1099 employee. Well, I guess not employee, but as a 1099 worker. And it's been a huge change, just trying to get used to a new schedule, a new setup. And that's part of why I love Collie. And that's part of what I love about Collie, is that it gives me something that I'm excited to do in the morning when I get up, and it's making my workouts fun. And now I'm thinking about ways, how can I make my body stronger so that I can do Collie better? And what better way than to do it outside? What better way than to do it in a way that focuses on health and wellness, plus being able to protect yourself and learn how to use your weapon, a weapon if you need to. So I think I'm going to do this activity more often, and maybe on the weekends as well. My weekends get super busy. I do Collie, I do occasionally an art called or Padi Pudi Australia. It actually goes by a different name now. My instructor is in Australia for that. I also do a Kuntao Sea Lot. Also getting ready for testing on that in about 3 weeks. So I live a pretty active, busy life on top of creating a schedule, working on building a business, and learning my 1099 work as well. So I have so much going on, and I love it. I love the life that I'm designing and creating for myself, and I know it's really going to pay off in the next several years. So stay tuned. This is a really, really good reason to watch this channel, specifically to watch the Kali Training Journal, to see how I actually do on these workouts and being able to run stairs. Let's see if I can make it more than just a couple of minutes in the next couple of months. It's August right now, middle of August, August 21st to be exact for today for this recording. And so let's see, it's gonna get winter soon. I'm not gonna be able to access the bleachers after a certain time of year, so we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to keep working on this, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.